If your experience has been anything like mine, then you've probably been told that things like addiction and depression and anxiety are diseases. They're things that are not going to go away, that no matter how well you manage them or cope with them, that's just the way life is going to be. And for me, I was in the middle of an 18-year porn addiction to where I couldn't control myself or the behavior. Sometimes I could willpower myself out of it, but when it really hit, I was going back to this thing that I didn't really want to do. It was not something I wanted to engage in at all, both because of faith reasons and because it was not helping me. It wasn't fixing any of my problems, and yet I was constantly going back. And it started causing trouble in my relationships, in my marriage, to where my wife one day was looking at me, telling me, I don't think I'm going to stay. We have 4 kids at the time. And there I was staring down the possibility of not only dealing with the depressiveness or the overwhelm or the burnout or stuff I was dealing with normally, but now also being alone for the rest of my life because I couldn't control this one behavior. And everyone around me was telling me it's a lifelong thing, that you're just going to have to cope with it and deal with it and accept that there's something wrong with you. That was not okay with me. And so I turned my back on everything everyone else was saying, and I decided that I was going to figure out what was really going on. And I studied and I trained in healing arts of a variety of different kinds. And I trained in meditation and yoga and functional psychology and all of these different things to try and figure out what is really causing this behavior to not go away. What's happening to where I don't have conscious control? And what I found was that it's not a disease at all. What I found is that it's not permanent at all. That if you really understand what's happening with your mind and your body, and you pinpoint the exact thing that's going on, what you'll find is that you can walk away from those things and never have it come back, not even urges come back, that literally the whole thing is just a thing of the past as if it were in another person's life. Now, what was going on was that pornography and the depression and the binging on food and the other compulsive behaviors I was doing was a way of me coping with some core issue on the inside. And what I learned was that that thing is on a mental level, an emotional level, and on a physical level. And that if I could pinpoint it in all of those places and clear it from my system in all of those places, in a whole person approach, then the coping behavior went away on its own. And I didn't have to fight for it. I don't have to deal with urges or anything else like that. So what you'll find on this page is a breakdown of what I found. This process has helped hundreds of people find freedom from compulsive behavior, from compulsive eating, from pornography addiction, from some substance abuse disorders, some from depression and anxiety, and from a whole host of other things, because it simply teaches you how your mind and body are designed to function at an optimal level and how you can take back control of your mood, your stresses, your triggers, and dismantle them all by getting to the root issue and getting rid of that, by retraining your body how to handle life in a really direct way so that it produces happiness, health, and well-being on autopilot, and then to dismantle any associations or attachments you may have to a behavior so that it ceases to be the solution to the problem if stress does come up. So that's down on this page. Yes, my company, we do run retreats that are intensive retreats, but everybody that comes, we send them through this process as well. And what we found is you may not need to go to a retreat. That may not be something that is even required for you. Yes, they're incredible and they're amazing. And if you feel like that's what's calling you because you want that extra in-person help and those extra intensive exercises to really clear things out because you've been through massive traumas and stuff in the past, that's great. But still, we're going to have you start with this stuff. And so what I want you to do is really look at this and entertain the possibility that right down below, the stuff that you're going to read and see is telling you of a way out to where you can leave behind the struggles that you may right now be believing are permanent when they're not. There really is a way out. And if you just learn to understand how your mind and your body work, you can retrain them, just like you've trained them to be a black belt at living this way. You can retrain them to live another way, to where the next decades of your life are nothing like the ones that you've come through, no matter what it's been like, whether it's been really heavy or whether it's been beautiful, but for some reason you can't control things, or whether you're just ready for another level in life. And so look down on this page, peruse everything, get excited about that possibility. Ask questions if you need to. If you feel like you want to retreat, we're always happy to talk to you. Otherwise, like below the freedom formula, that's what got me out. I didn't have a retreat to go to. I have put everything I have learned in a step-by-step process down below that you can be able to do from the comfort of your own home. And then if you feel like you need more help, we're here.